If I had to start calisthenics absolutely from scratch, knowing everything I know now, I'd only do 5 exercises. Not because the others don't work, but because I spent the first 5 years making this exact mistake that I don't want others to make. I'd save every single cool skill that I see on Instagram. I'd jump on a whole bunch of different programs and I'd convince myself that I just need one more new exercise to push myself over the edge. Looking back, I was really just avoiding the basic foundations. So if I started all over again tomorrow, these are the 5 movements that I'll base my foundation off. For those who don't know me, I'm Isaac. I've been training calisthenics for 8 years now. I coach adults all over the world and I host calisthenics competitions in Australia. And one thing I realized is that beginners don't need more information. They need less, because the internet makes you feel like you need 20 different progressions in order to improve, but you don't. You just need a handful that you can do really well. So again, if I lost all my progress overnight, these are the foundations that I will absolutely drum into my head. Number 1 has to be the pull-up. Honestly, if I keep one single exercise for the rest of my life, it will be this. It needs to be performed with a full dead hang and chin over the bar. No swinging, no kicking your legs around, no pretending that half reps count. Your back will get stronger. You'll develop a nice V taper for an aesthetic physique. And your grip will also develop in the process. And pretty much every single pulling movement that you'll do in calisthenics starts off here. But if you can't do a clean pull-up yet, just start with these steps. Use bands, use negatives, and maximize the full range of motion. Train the pull-up in 3 different parts: scapular activation, rising phase, and elbow drive. Make sure you don't skip out on any rowing movements. Use inverted rows or Australian pull-ups. And please do not skip this phase if you want to get muscle ups. You need to get at least 10 clean pull-ups if you want to maximize your progress and avoid injuries. Number 2, the dip. Again, nice full range of motion. Shoulders below your elbows, no excessive spinal flexion, no kicking at the bottom. And the most important part is lockout at the top to work on that straight arm strength. This is your pushing foundation. You need to develop the chest, the triceps, and the shoulders. And if muscle ups are your goal, then definitely hit the straight bar dip just to make sure that your elbows aren't flaring out. One thing that I see people do is they load up a weighted dip before they can even do one clean bodyweight dip. Slow down, own your bodyweight first, and then progress. Number 3 is an active hang. It doesn't matter if you train or not, your grandma, your mum, your dog should all be doing an active hang. Once you're able to develop the grip strength and be comfortable in that position, then you can try scapular pull-ups. This was honestly the biggest thing that I neglected when I first started training calisthenics. It was very boring, but it turns out that's exactly what you need if you want to do other moves like the muscle up. The shoulders learn how to stabilize, you maximize the stretch reflex at the bottom of the movement, and everything just starts to feel more stronger and explosive. Spend at least 5 minutes at the start of your session, and honestly, that's enough. Number 4 is the hollow body hold. Now you may think that, 8-year-old girls in a gymnastics center do this as an exercise. Why do I need to do it? Well, people think this is just another core exercise, but it's really not. It's teaching you how to use your entire kinetic chain, or in other words, using your full body as one piece. If you can't get this right, then you don't have the proprioception, or in other words, the body awareness for a handstand, a front lever, the kipping portion of a muscle up, and even pull-ups in general. If you notice that you keep swinging around on your exercises when you're using a bar, then it means that your kinetic chain is not in sync. Learn how to brace properly here and everything will fall into place. And number 5 is the push-up. Yeah, just push-ups. You can't ignore the basics. Before I even started training planche, handstand push-ups, weighted dips, I made sure that I was able to go down on the floor and do 50 push-ups. Everyone thinks they're too easy, but you can't just skip it. And trust me, I couldn't do 50 push-ups when I first started calisthenics. And so what I did was I put it in different blocks. Instead of doing all of them at once, I did 20, 20, then 10, and I did 35, and then 10, then 5, so on and so forth until I could get 50 in a row. After that, you should progress and do diamond push-ups, decline push-ups, explosive push-ups. There's honestly years of progression that you can gain from this one movement if you just maximize it fully. Simple doesn't mean beginner. Simple means effective. Now you might be sitting here and thinking, wait, that's it? Isaac, you can do all these cool calisthenics skills like front lever, planche, muscle ups. When do I get to start doing all that? You need to execute patience, because if you can't even own your own body through these movements, what are we actually trying to do by learning planche, muscle up, front lever, and all these other cool moves? You're just gonna get injured. The skill that you're trying to perfect won't look clean and aesthetic, and it's like you're trying to push a boulder up the hill. So here's the one rule that I would follow if I started again overnight. Don't progress the exercise, progress your standards. Stop asking what's next. Start asking yourself, how does the rep feel? Does it connect with the rest of my movements and my body? Because if you're just doing push-ups like this, you're doing dips like this and pull-ups like that, it's not gonna do anything. The pros aren't adding on progressions and making things harder each week when they're starting out. They work on making things look effortless. And once that happens, that's where the magic begins. So that's it. If I had to start calisthenics again tomorrow, these are the only 5 exercises that I'll build my training around. Now, I started calisthenics in 2018. I watched Chris Harrier. I watched all these videos. It took me 5 years to learn the planche, but I don't regret a thing because my injuries were not as severe as some other people. They learnt planche really, really fast, but then they tore their biceps, they tore their labrums, and they have all these problems with their bodies now. Whereas I went to the park after high school, repped out the foundations like push-ups, hollow body, pull-ups, dips, scapular mobility work, and I'm a very fluid athlete now. I can do dynamics, I can do weighted calisthenics, I can do statics, I can do flips. Training those foundations gave me really good muscle tone and a physique. So honestly, if you want the best advice that you carry over you throughout every single area in your fitness journey, these 5 fundamental movements will be the best. But if you want to know exactly how to specifically work towards a single skill and don't care about foundations at all, and just only maximize technique and progress, then I suggest you watch the rest of my videos on my YouTube channel. I'll see you in there.